What's up, Wildcats? On this last edition of Arizona All Access, we've taken a trip here into the weight room to talk with Arizona football's Director of Strength and Conditioning, Tyler Owens, better known as T.O.
Finish to the end zone!
Now, T.O., a big talking point this past spring was the many body transformations that a lot of our guys went under during the off season. So for you, what is your approach when a guy wants to bulk up?
You know, really it's just a well-rounded approach and having a process to get there. So what we do in the weight room, aligning your nutrition goals with that, and Miranda and doing a great job there, and then also your recovery with Kevin and our athletic training staff.
Is there a recent success story that you are most proud of?
You know, honestly, we've had a phenomenal offseason with all of our guys. You know, it's hard to point out one or two. You know, I mean, obviously you could look at T-Mac, who's went from 180 to 200, Big Jonah, who went from 360 down to 325. So, I mean, we have a lot of success stories of guys that just bought into the program and doing what we asked them to do, and they reap the results of it.
What is that ratio of conditioning, of sprinting to weightlifting?
Just depends on the time of the year. So, you know, when we first start in January, you know, typically we'll be lifting 4 times a week and on the field, you know, 2 to 3 times a week. And as you get closer to football, obviously, you know, the running starts increasing. So we go up to 4 times a week on the field of doing some sort of sprinting and change of direction. And then about 3 times a week in the weight room. And then kind of that mirrors in the summer. We start early on with 4 times a week in the weight room with about 3 times a week on field. And then as we get closer to fall camp in the season, it cranks up to about 4 or 5 times a week on the field, and then 3 or 4 times a week in the weight room.
Do you customize the training schedules and the weight room regimes for position groups in here?
Yeah, so I mean, obviously the way we break it down is football overall has its demands itself, and then underneath that, you know, you have offensive linemen and defensive linemen. They have certain demands that the sport demands of them. Then you have your receivers and DBs, then you have your linebackers, tight ends, and running backs kind of all in between there, and then your quarterback. So, you know, I'd say there's a demand of football, and then underneath that, there's the demand positionally of what each position demands, and then underneath that, it's how can we help each individual be successful in whatever their position is. With all the technology things we have and all the different things we're able to do with the staff I have, gets individualized from there.
On that topic of technology, it is scattered throughout here and all these different pieces of equipment. How do you and your staff use those devices?
I played football. I grew up in a time where, you know, it wasn't really a huge part of it. Now every single day it seems like more and more it's getting more integrated and more a part of the approach. So we have Elite Form at every rack to track every lift. We have 1080 sprints to be able to program and sprint profile guys from a speed perspective. We have force plates and Nord boards. We have EMG. Every single thing we need we have, which is fortunate to be able to have those resources here. And then from that standpoint, you know, we just don't want to guess. You know, every single one of our players' career is important, and I don't want to guess with their career. It's important that we uncover every stone to help them be successful.
What is your favorite part of your job? By
far the relationships and the time spent with the players. You know, you're with them year round. You get to see them go through all the hard, challenging times, and you get to see them on Saturday reap the benefits of it. So I think just overall seeing the process of a guy come in as a freshman and then what he leaves as a junior or senior, and see the process that you put into play go to work and change kids' lives.
I mean, you guys are with them the moment they come in as a freshman to hopefully training for pro day one day. Yeah. So it's really cool all the work you guys do with them. Thank you for your time today, T.O.
Yeah, absolutely.